I was at this meetup in the summer of 2019, and I was sitting right where you were, and all I knew is I wanted to quit my job, and I wanted to buy real estate. That's all I knew. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't know what I was going to buy. All I knew is that Bigger Pockets told me to go to meetups. Right? So I came to this meetup because I'm a Jersey guy, born and raised Jersey Shore, right? Grew up in Oceanport. I live in Portsmouth now. So I came to this. I met Hira. I met Dan. I met some other guys. Dan's friend Kevin. We didn't even talk real estate all night. I think we talked the law of attraction, right? But I wanted to be in a room full of people that had the same passion that I did. And I wanted to shake somebody's hand and say, what are you doing? And how can we help each other? These meetups are super important. Getting around people who share that same passion with you, that same energy, is a big part of this equation for you. So, I knew nothing. How many here own at least or have owned one piece of investment real estate? So I knew less than all of you, right? It's only been 3 years. We're up to 1,122 doors now. And thank you. And now we're going into new development. And I'm super excited about that. I can talk about that in a little bit. But briefly, what we do at Sterling Reiner Capital is we do syndications. So a syndication is a group investment. So if you and I were to go buy a property and we put money down and we would spend money on renovations, we would run out of money pretty quickly. We could do that once, maybe, you and I, or we could do it maybe a second time. After that, it's like, well, we need more money. So a syndication is where we get together as a group and we take passive investors, people who have money. They want to be in real estate. They don't necessarily want to learn how to buy property. So they partner with a sponsor who knows what they're doing and finds properties. They bring the capital, we bring the expertise, and we are literally partners side by side on a much larger asset. Now that always appealed to me. I thought I was going to buy single family homes. I was thinking, hey, I'm going to go buy a duplex. I thought that's how I had to do it. Turns out, you do not have to do that. That is a great way to do it. It's a good way to start. I wouldn't discourage you from going that route. However, my first property was 104 units. And it wasn't scary because I had the right people around me. So let me go back. I'll tell you a little bit about my story. The details aren't necessarily that important, but the underlying principles of how I did this so quickly, that's what's important for all of you. Hopefully you can leave here with a little inspiration tonight to take some action tomorrow on whatever that is, whatever that next step is. Because that's all you need is a little motivation. I got it from this group in this meetup, and now it's my chance to give it back to all of you. So it was probably 2017, and I was 40-something years old, and I realized that I needed more. I had more potential. I'd been at the same job, working for a fantastic company, making more money than I ever thought I would in commercial construction, but I was not fulfilled. Something was missing. I was like, I can do more than this. And despite how hard I worked, my boss, even though he was fantastic, he signed my paycheck. There was an automatic cap on the amount of money that I could make or what I could do with my life. And I got to a point where I'm like, there's got to be something else out there. But starting a small business is not easy. And I'm like, I don't want to go from working a pretty flexible schedule Monday through Friday to then working 7 days a week on my own company. Because a lot of us think that running your own small business is the greatest thing until you start it and you realize you're an employee in your own business and it's a complete nightmare. You're imprisoned. I watched my dad build his own roofing business for 35 years. And for most of that, He couldn't take vacation, and even when he did, it's the phone, it's nonstop. So, I had this urge, you have that midlife crisis. Some people go off the deep end. I went to the route of, how can I reach my full potential? How can I optimize myself? So I got heavy into personal development. That was the key. I'll tell you right now. The work I did on myself and my mindset is what enabled all of this to happen, right? So it's a big part to all this. So I dove deep. I was driving to work, and I was listening to Tony Robbins and Jim Rohn and Earl Nightingale and Bob Proctor, and as much as I could. And I was just building this energy. I didn't even know where I was going to release it. I just knew there was something bigger for me. And I'd like to say, when the time was right, the universe showed me investment real estate. And it was one YouTube video. It was it. I bought my own house before. I knew nothing about real estate investing. But I watched a video of a real estate investor. It was 1 hour long, and I got done that video. I felt it in my body. I said, this is for me. This is my key to freedom. To freedom from the job, to reach my full potential as a person. That night, I told my best friend, I'm going to buy real estate, and I'm going to quit my job in 10 years. That was my plan. And he was like, cool. He knew I was ambitious, so he didn't think much. I told my wife the same thing, and she was just kind of like, that's great, honey. Right? Like I said, I had a very secure job. I thought I was a lifer at this company. So I had that. I listened to that interview, and I immediately started getting the books. Everything I could get. My car became my mobile university, right? I'm like looking to get out of work, and I was in construction, so I was on the road a lot and meeting clients. I was able to get into my car a lot. And it was just books and podcasts, and it was just nonstop. It was just feeding myself. How can I make this happen? Came to this meetup, right? Met people. Just immersed myself in the world of investment real estate. And I got to a point that summer where I was like, I got to take some action. I got to go buy a duplex. This has got to happen. Went on Bigger Pockets, found a guy on there who lived in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I knew I couldn't buy in New Jersey, nothing cash flowed, so I met him in Pennsylvania, and he started showing me around. This guy, Joel, I still talk to him today, amazing guy. Just found him, he was local, he's like, I can help you out. I'm a realtor, a property manager, and investment properties. We hunted the whole summer for triplexes and duplexes. I couldn't find anything. A lot of them were really bad condition. And then I found a video online, again, through nonstop absorption of content on the internet. I found a video by a guy named Michael Blanc. And he said, did you know that you can skip the small stuff and go right to the big stuff? I was like, what? It's like, yeah, you don't have to buy a duplex. I mean, you can, but you can buy like 100-unit apartment complexes. You just need the right people and the right coaching. And I was like, this sounds exciting. No right or wrong. There's no right or wrong to any of this, right? And that may not be the path for you, but that excited me. Use your emotions as your guide as you go, right? If you feel inspiration and excitement, follow that. If then you hit a dead end, it doesn't feel good anymore, just change courses. Use your emotions as your guide. That was exciting to me. And I bought his course. And I took his course online. It's like 16 hours. With that course, I got a free ticket to his conference. I'm like, should I go to a conference by myself in Washington, D.C.? That's a little uncomfortable. I'm not going to know anybody. I'm all by myself. I don't own any real estate, right? I have no experience. It's like, let's do this. I'm just going to go. I told my wife, I'm going to go to a real estate conference. I'm going to make this happen. That conference changed my life. Big time. Right? So if I didn't watch the video and take his course and never gotten a ticket and never would have been at the conference. But at that conference, I met my business partner, Chris Roberts. He was in the same boat as me. And let me tell you, that was not a coincidence. Chris lives in Tacoma, Washington. I live in Colts Neck, New Jersey. We meet in Washington, D.C. And we get up. I get up early. Nobody else is up. I'm drinking my coffee. I've got all this energy. I'm just so excited. A bunch of real estate investors here. Let's go. Let's go. Chris is also up early and sits down next to me in the lobby. And that's how it happened, right? And Chris is the reason that I was able to move so quickly. Because when we came together, there were fireworks. It was two passionate people. Granted, we were both successful in business already, so we did have a lot of experience behind us. So I'm not going to say, I was young, I was in my 20s, and I could just go start a company. We did have enough experience to know that we could do this. But when we came together, it was amazing. And I knew it. I felt it in my body. I would get the chills when I would talk to him, and we'd have conversations, and I'm like, this is going to be big. Chris and I, at that conference, joined Michael Blank's mentorship program, and it was not cheap, right? So I had to come home from that conference and say to my wife, I'm going to spend $30,000 on a mentorship program. And she just didn't say anything. She was quiet. But she trusted me. Thank God I have a good partner. She was like, okay, you do whatever you got to do. Thank God I had that money and was able to take that. All I heard was Tony Robbins in the back of my head saying, take massive action, right? Chris and I got the same mentor in that program, this guy named Phil. Phil landed a deal in Virginia and needed help. And he said, well, who better to help me than my two students in my mentorship program who have net worth, they have liquidity, they have some requirement, they're both successful in business. Hey, students, come on with me and run this deal with me. That was our first deal, and that's all we needed. So we had a mentor that brought us on our first apartment complex together, right? In the meantime, Chris, my partner, he was a fanatical action taker, which is what I needed. I found somebody who knew how to take action. He, in the meantime, is on all these forums, he's talking to these people, finds another deal, 112 units outside of Savannah, Georgia. He's making phone calls, he's like, I'll jump up, somebody's like, I need help on this deal. We'll jump on this deal, right? He gets another deal under contract. Meanwhile, we get on Phil's deal, and he's like, guys, go ahead, run investor relations, do everything. I'm like, this is perfect, this is our training ground. This is exactly what we needed, right? Got on our first deal with our mentor, 104 units in Chesapeake, Virginia. Helped him run that, helped him raise capital, met other people. Later that year, closed our next deal, 112 units outside of Savannah, Georgia. Rough property. So rough that Chris is writing a book about that property right now, right? Shootings, crime. But from there, that's all it took. Once we had that experience, our path just got laid out in front of us, one thing after another. And part of it was, I believe, our positive energy and bringing that together, that there was nothing that was going to stop us. We were so excited to build this company, right? That it didn't matter what came up. We said, let's go. We're going to do this. So everything fell into place right after that. From the moment I had to watch that video about real estate investing, that was May 2019, right? Before that, I literally had no clue. 18 months later, I quit my job, right? What was my plan? It was 10 years. I was going to buy a duplex, then a quadruplex, and then I'll go up to an 8-unit. I had it laid out. I was going to own 120 units over the course of 10 years and then quit my job. 18 months later, I quit my job. Now we own $140 million worth of real estate in 3 years. Technically 2.5, if it's 3 years from the idea, right? That's how quickly this can go if you believe in yourself. I had confidence. I can't deny that. I had been successful. I understood my strengths. I knew I could do it. So when I came with this idea, it was I am doing this. That commitment was everything. It wasn't like, well, if I can't do this in 2 years, I'm out. Whether it takes me 2, 5, 10, or 15 years, I am going to do this. And I don't care what comes up, I don't care what stands in my way, I'm going to make this happen. It was that passion, and it was that energy combined with Chris that allowed us to move and scale so quickly, right? So, if I can give anything to all of you today, it's, first of all, believe in yourself. Regardless of what your situation is going to be. Your course is not going to look exactly like mine. It'll look nothing like mine. But that underlying mindset, that belief in yourself, is what's key to your path unfolding for you. Partnering is key. You need somebody to share this experience with. Somebody who has those complementary skill sets. You could do this on your own, but guess what? You're going to be alone stressing about your business, about your properties at night by yourself. And let me tell you, probably once a month, Chris and I do a love fest on the phone. He's like, I'm so glad I have you as a partner. Right? That is so key to have, to not be by yourself. We've had other partners come in. They're not all great. That's okay. Not everybody was a good fit. You kind of test their skills, and then you're like, okay, this person, not really for us, right? That's all okay. We're all on our own journey. But one thing I realize is that this experience we're all having is happening for us, not to us. And if you can change your perspective to realize that every day you wake up, opportunities are going to be pouring into your experience because you've asked for them. I'm not going to get into who's giving them to you. I won't even get into that. We won't go too spiritual on you. Opportunities are coming into your experience all the time. And if you're not looking for them, you're not going to see them. If you're in your own way, you're not going to see them. If you have too many doubts about yourself, you might see it and say, no, I can't do that. And you turn around and you go the other way. Look for the opportunities. They're going to be there. Work from a place of positive energy, excitement, and inspiration. Build that up. Do whatever you got to do to get there. Call me. I will get you there. Get in your car and type in motivation on YouTube and just listen to motivational speakers. That's what I used to do. I'd get to work and I'd be like, bring it on. Like, all right, what do you got for me, right? On a job that I was done with, right? A job that eventually became a prison when I found real estate. It was like, I got to do that. I can't stay here anymore. Get your energy up to that point and start to watch around you. When I say that things have been laid out for me, almost like somebody was orchestrating the path, that's exactly what it feels like. This past spring, the commercial real estate market went crazy. Really good for us when we owned properties, right? Because that property in Savannah, Georgia, where there were shootings that we bought for $3.9 million, we just sold for $11.9 million in 18 months. Our investors on that deal got 2.5 times their money in 18 months. And now they're like, Sterling Reiner Capital, what else do you got, right? It was hard work. I don't want to say that wasn't a rough property. But we believed in ourselves and we said, we don't care. We're going to do whatever it takes, right? Watch for these opportunities. Take them when they come. Follow your emotions as your guide, right? If it feels good, you're going in the right direction. If it feels bad, pivot, change course, right? Your emotions will tell you everything. So, I have this idea that I want to start to get out to people. Because this isn't all about real estate. This is about each and every one of you reaching your full potential. And now I feel like a motivational speaker. This was about real estate. This is genuine. You can ask anyone who knows me. because I changed my life so quickly from the 50 hours a week, 2 weeks vacation. I've been there for 20 years, right? I didn't get much vacation. I didn't see my kids as much as I wanted to. And I wake up now every morning, I feel like I'm retired. I'm not even joking. Because when I do have to work on real estate, it's fun. This isn't work. I drink my coffee most mornings out of my patio in the sun until 10 a.m. because I can. Because I got nobody telling me what to do. And then I'll go and create some stuff and make some phone calls and I'll take care of this and that. And guess what? Kid needs to go to soccer practice, I'm there. I'm always around. I cannot even believe the life I created for myself. And I want other people to believe that they can have that opportunity also. But it's all about reaching your full potential as a person, right? This is not technically a pyramid, it's a tetrahedron, but a pyramid would have a square on the bottom. But I look at the top of this as your full potential. But there's three components here that are super important. One of these components is what we're all here tonight about. This is your finances. This is real estate, right? This is taking care of your security. This is providing freedom. Freedom for you to create, to be the creator that you are. To where tomorrow, I'm going to do whatever I want to do, right? That's important for all of us. So one is your finances. You've got to get that in order. You've got to invest. You've got to go down this track. Even if you're not an active investor and you don't want to go buy 100-unit apartment complexes, that's fine, right? Then still take your money, get it invested, grow your wealth, right? Do that for you and your family. But there's two other components here. Your body. If you don't feel good, it will affect the other 3 points. You will not hit your full potential if you don't feel good. I'm a big proponent of health and fitness. You got to eat right. You've got to take care of yourself. You've got to have energy. You have to, when you wake up in the morning, you have to feel good about your body and who you are. That will feed into your work during the day because you feel fantastic. You feel like you have energy, right? The third point is your mindset. We can throw spirituality into there too. But your perspective on life. Work on all 3 of these things simultaneously. Do not hyper-focus on just real estate. Watch some real estate, read some books, figure some things out. Take a half hour and look into some personal development. There is so much content out there. It's just like endless. YouTube is what I prefer. There's so much content, right? Work on your mindset. Keep yourself healthy. Get in better shape. Pay attention to what you're eating, right? Work on your finances. You do those 3 things, that trifecta, you will start to reach your full potential as a person. This is bigger than real estate. This is how can you become the best dad, the best mom, the best sister, the best brother, the best person that you can be. Real estate will not get you there, but it is important because it'll give you the freedom that you need to then, guess what? I got plenty of time. Now that I have my freedom because of real estate, I got plenty of time to work on my personal development. I got time to meditate. I got time to chill out in the morning, get my mind right, get my energy right, because I'm not being pulled to a job that's taking away, that's sucking all of my energy. Some people have great jobs. Some people may love their jobs. So I don't want to talk bad about all jobs, right? Jobs are necessary for a lot of people. But the freedom to create and do what you want is huge. So how can I help all of you? Well, hopefully this gave you a little bit of inspiration, just a little bit. Get out here and get you thinking. Say, man, what can I do tomorrow? Just one little thing. The tiniest little thing, you feel like it's completely insignificant. I tell you it's not. One of the first things I did was just create a company name and make business cards. I had no real estate, I had no idea what I was doing, but I'm like, hey, Wilcox Properties, let's go, let's make business cards. It felt good. It gave me some way to take action, even though it didn't really lead me anywhere. But it fed into the excitement, and that's where the creation happens, is when you can get excited and inspired. Take action tomorrow, this weekend. Maybe I'll call that broker, even though I might feel ridiculous. I remember calling brokers, I had no idea what I was talking about. These commercial brokers, you know anything? No, we're looking at this deal. I had no idea what I was doing. But I'm like, I got to call brokers because Brandon Turner says to call brokers, right? So we have created a thought leadership platform. And we love helping people. I can't spend all day on the phone with all of you. However, if you take, I have handouts up here. I've got a bunch of links here. Any one of you can schedule a 30-minute phone call with me to talk about fitness, talk about real estate. You want to talk about mindset? You want to talk about, hey, I'm just stuck? I don't care what it is. Schedule a 30-minute phone call with me. We love talking to people, especially when it combines these three things, right? We have a podcast called Create Your Fortune. And we go into detail about syndications. I won't go into detail. You guys can ask me some questions about syndications if you want. Honestly, you're all plenty smart. I know it. You could figure syndications out too if that's what you wanted to do. It's really not that difficult. Just get a good team around you and say, hey, let's go do this. So the details around syndicating are not actually that important. You just learn them. Read a book, get on a deal, go to a conference, and you figure it out as you go. Work on this. That will make everything happen. So there's a link here, Create Your Fortune podcast. Start listening. I have episodes in there about mindset, more detail about my story and how I got here. My partner Chris does most of them. Super high energy guy. He's actually planning to start doing TED Talks soon. So there's a YouTube. We have probably 150 videos on YouTube. We've created a thought leadership platform to basically say, hey everybody, look what we just did. You can do it too. What do you need to know? So that's one way I can help you is to teach. Start to absorb our content. Everything is on here. The yellow side is learn with, right? So that's one way I can help you. Schedule a call. If you're looking to invest your money, but you're not ready to go buy your own property, let's say you don't want to be a landlord, but you don't want to sit around for the next 5 years waiting for the perfect opportunity or trying to figure it out. You can invest and you can partner with us literally tomorrow if you wanted to, right? What we're doing right now is we're building 6 Class A luxury apartment buildings, 3 in Denver, 2 in Colorado Springs, and 1 in Phoenix. We're doing them all at the same time. Our development partner, I kind of feel like the universe handpicked them for me and my partner Chris. It's uncanny how he came into our experience and said, hey guys, by the way, I'm scaling my development business and I like what you have going on and I need help with this and this. Do you want to partner with me? We're like, kidding me? It's less work and 10 times the money. Like, how is that possible? Right? We all have to grind. We think we have to, all right, I got to work even more. I'm telling you, it's less work. That is something else that just came to our experience. Right when purchase prices were so high, we couldn't even compete. We were trying to buy a $30 million apartment complex, and a big company came in and just kicked us to the side. Here's $1 million, hard money day one. We're going to up our bid by $2 million. Yeah, you guys get out of the way. We were like, okay, that was the market when we were looking, when our development partner came into our experience and said, guess what? We just got to buy the dirt. And by the way, I've already got 5 projects lined up to go under contract. Do you want to come with me? And now Sterling Rhino and Elevate together are now building these complexes. So you can partner with us on these. We have a spot for accredited investors. A lot of these deals you got to be accredited to be on. That's tough. A lot of people aren't at that status. Every single deal we've done, we've always had non-accredited investors invest with us. So we figured out a way to do it on this too. We have a 506c fund for accredited investors, and we have a sister fund. It's a Reg CF, it's a crowdfunding. So non-accredited investors can invest in our crowdfunding platform, accredited, invest in our 506c fund. We got everybody covered. Everybody's gonna own these 6 buildings with us for the next 5 years, while we build them, while we lease them up, and then we see what happens. We're in downtown Denver. These are gorgeous buildings, 250 units, rooftop infinity pools, cabanas and clubhouses, top of the line fitness centers. This is the fun stuff.
Can you use the pool?
You will be an owner on these buildings if you invest. You can absolutely get into these buildings. You can go touch them, you can feel them. That's what I love about real estate, right? Not invested in a piece of paper. You can go and visit these buildings, right? So that's how I can help. If you guys want to ask any questions, I'm here to do that, or we can just continue to talk and
Thank you.